A lot of people don't consider being an artist a real job. They think we're non-essential and we're not really contributing that much to society. And this inspired me to write my last blog post, which I'll put a link to in the comments, but I want to get into it in this video. Yo, it's your friendly neighborhood knucklehead, and this is 3 reasons why artists are needed in society. And each reason is gonna get deeper and deeper, and the third one is gonna be really, really big. But the first one is the surface level. This is how most people consider artists and art in general as a form of entertainment. It's an escape. It's something we can do for fun. We can go out on dates, we can catch movies, we can go to shows. All of those are technically art, but we're just using it as entertainment or as a pastime. But you need artists and creative people to make those things happen. You need people with ideas to come up with movie scripts, with characters. You need performances, and you need people that are good at what they do. Now, the second reason is for community. Art just has a natural ability to bring people closer together and unify them with the same shared experience. Now, this is the type of art that has a little bit more substance to it, where you can really experience someone else's culture. You can really learn from what an artist has done. And these are things that you would see in a museum, or things that even you could see in a documentary, or films that are more historically based, more informative to things that were going on in a specific place, in a specific time. This type of art has a purpose. It's trying to inspire, it's trying to educate, it's trying to advocate for something that was in its culture. It's a real learning experience, like films that are based in other countries, or paintings, or TV shows, anything that has some significance of community. And we, as the audience, also bring that community together because we are the people that have experienced it. I mean, even something as simple as liking the Star Wars movies, that's gonna bring you closer into a community with other people that really dig those movies. So it's really important for a lot of artists to share their perspective, to share their experiences and their culture, because those are going to be the things that educate us and the people that aren't involved in their culture or their experience. All right, number 3, and I think this is the most important thing: artists and artistry from a specific time period really is the hallmark of a successful society. When we look back in history and we see, architecture, movements, things along that nature, art really is at the center of it. It really does tell what's going on within a society during that time period. From the Motown era of music to the innovation of having 3D movies, these things that came out artistically show where society was at that time. And honestly, it showcases the greatness from that time period. When we think about Greek architecture, Roman architecture, we think about those artists from the 14th century, the Enlightenment, that is really showcasing the pinnacle of what was great in the society at that time. Great art has a lasting impact. A great story can impact generations and generations later. We see this in culture, pop culture, all the time, where movies are getting remade. I mean, Spider-Man started out as a comic book, then it became a toy, then it became movies, then it became video games. The same character impacted generations of people. Even in high school, I was reading like Beowulf and Gilgamesh, these ancient books and stories. When you have great art that's from a certain time period, it really carries through and can make that time period relevant to future generations and have that legendary, lasting impact. I really hope 50 years from now, people are still talking about Eddie Van Halen and what he did to the electric guitar. Artists can have that kind of impact because creative people and artists, we're observers. We speak for the culture. We're intuitive. We can feel into what's going on. That's why there are so many famous actors, artists, performers that get involved with political activism. They get involved with protests. They get involved with movements because that activism and artistry go hand in hand because we're all trying to make an impact on society. We're all trying to use our platform to showcase our perspective and our culture. And those different perspectives are gonna make lots of people look at life a different way. I mean, you take somebody like Andy Warhol that took all of these images that we saw in everyday life and turned them into artistic pieces. All of a sudden, people were looking at Campbell's soup a different way. They're looking at bananas in a different way. They're finding the beauty in everything. And we need artists to help other people do that. We need people like David Bowie, like Rick Rubin. These people that are gonna open us up to a whole different world where we know how to use our creative antenna. We know how to appreciate what's around us. And honestly, artists just improve the way of life of everybody. Music, poetry, writing, all of these things have such great impact on the mental health of our society and just our brains in general, the way we think. So share this video with somebody that thinks artists are overrated. Definitely give it a thumbs up if you agree with what's going on. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and definitely check out the link in my comments, which is the full blog post that I wrote about this topic. Thank you so much for watching, and stay creative.